The Shinjus attacked Konoha with all their power. This is part 3 of this terrifying battle. Watch the 2 previous videos to follow this saga. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. The sky over Konoha still carried the debris of the last battle, fragments of colliding dimensions, the air vibrating with the residual energy of Susanoo and the Tenseigin. But there, in a space isolated by Mamushi's Rinnegan, Ada was alone. Her breathing was quick but steady. Her eyes, full of determination and fear, watched the colossal form that materialized in front of her. Mamushi, the last thorned soul, covered in black energy that seemed to absorb the very light itself. The ground trembled with each of his steps, and every breath released a wave of pressure that bent the air around. Ida felt the weight of the moment. Defeating Mamushi would be almost suicidal, but she knew that running away was not an option. Mamushi advanced first, launching a sequence of chakra blades that cut through space like meteors. Ida jumped, dodging with agility, leaving trails of light in her path. She responded with a combination of kunai and explosive tags, each explosion illuminating the dimension with flashes of vivid colors, but nothing seemed to truly injure Mamushi. Every one of her attacks was repelled as if he were part of the space itself. She felt her heart race. Her mind searched for strategies as every second became crucial. Mamushi smiled, a cruel expression. "Do you think you can stop me alone?" His voice echoed with power, and the ground split into deep cracks with the impact of his blows. Ida responded with everything she had. She channeled chakra, surrounding her body in an aura of pure energy. She leapt, spun, and delivered a direct strike to Mamushi's head. The impact created an explosion of light that shook the entire dimension. For a moment, everything seemed to work. Mamushi staggered, but not for long. He recovered, advancing with impossible speed. His sword of black energy cut the air in a deadly sequence, forcing Ida to retreat. She felt a crushing pressure on her chest. If she didn't act fast, it would be the end. And then, at the peak of desperation, a signal appeared on the horizon. A mark of Hiraishin shone intensely in the dimension. Boruto was arriving. With him, Daemon, whose presence radiated power and control. Their arrival completely changed the balance of the battle. Boruto advanced with incredible speed, dodging attacks and countering with Rasengan and chakra-charged blows. Daemon manipulated the space around, opening strategic portals that confused Mamushi and limited his movements. The dynamic shifted from an apparently impossible battle to a coordinated fight, where Ida could finally breathe and react. She joined the attack, combining her jutsus with Boruto and Daemon's strategy. Chakras and techniques intertwined, each strike calculated, each defense synchronized. Mamushi tried to resist, but was now being pressured from 3 fronts, something he was not prepared to face. The climax came when Boruto and Ada coordinated a final attack. Boruto launched a concentrated Rasengan, while Daemon manipulated the gravity around, trapping Mamushi in the center. Ida, with all her strength, channeled chakra into explosive fists, striking Mamushi directly. The explosion of energy was overwhelming. Mamushi screamed, and his body began to fragment into thorned energy, unable to withstand the combined force. But before he could be completely destroyed, Ida extended her hand, not to kill, but to contain the remaining essence. She knew she didn't need death to win. Mamushi's defeat was already enough. The combined power of Boruto, Daemon, and Ada overloaded the dimension. Mamushi fell, defeated but alive, only a shadow of what he once was. The battle finally came to an end, and the feeling of victory was not only physical but emotional. Ada, exhausted, breathed deeply. Boruto stood beside her, Daemon observing from a distance, and together they looked at the collapsing dimension, now silent. The feeling of accomplishment and overcoming filled the air. On the horizon, the threat of the Shinjus had been contained. But the memory of destruction, of fragmented dimensions, and of the power that emerged from that war would remain forever. They had won, not only as warriors, but as guardians of a new shinobi balance, and so the last thorned soul fell, and the new era of the shinobi world began to take shape before the eyes of those who survived. End of the saga. Sarada. Himawari, Ada, Boruto, and Daemon triumph against the Shinjus. The legacy of courage, unity, and power resurfaced stronger than ever. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos.